I woke up to find my uterus removed without warning. Now I'll never have a baby. Zoe Bailey suffered from crippling periods and was later diagnosed with endometriosis. Following an emergency examination, she says doctors removed her reproductive organs without warning. When Zoe Bailey woke up from an emergency medical check, she didn't expect to find that her cervix and uterus had been removed, along with her dreams of carrying her own child. The 31-year-old had been suffering from excruciating endometriosis symptoms and claims doctors said they had no other option but to remove her reproductive organ. From the age of 14, she had experienced frequent bouts of vomiting and blackouts whenever she was on her period. With concerns growing, she sought medical advice, but claimed she was told that her pain and symptoms were normal and just her period. Zoe had a gut feeling something wasn't right, and in 2013, her fears were confirmed when she was unable to get pregnant and was diagnosed with endometriosis during fertility investigations. Now, she's sharing her harrowing ordeal in a bid to raise awareness for other women, saying the situation has broken her heart. Some days, I feel like a failure. I'm a woman who can't do the one thing women are meant to do, which is carrying a baby, Zoe, from Manchester, said. It breaks my heart. It affected me so badly that I lost 4 stone in weight and I became severely depressed as well as suffering from anxiety. All my life I'd wanted to be a mum and to be told this wouldn't be possible broke me. It's made me question my relationships as to why someone would want to be with someone who can't have children. I've had all sorts of horrible thoughts that went through my head. Now, I resent everyone around me who are pregnant or have just had a baby. In 2013, Zoe was diagnosed with endometriosis, a condition in which tissue similar to the uterus lining grows outside the uterus after undergoing an invasive examination at St. Mary's Hospital in Manchester. After doing her own research, she found that the common condition can cause fertility issues, but claimed she was reassured this wouldn't be the case, as the extra tissue had been removed. She was placed in a temporary menopause and again in 2015 to give her reproductive system a break. But after each bout of treatment, her debilitating symptoms returned. For the next 2 years, Zoe spent most of her days bedbound and eventually had to give up her job as a carer when the pain became too much. In 2018, her condition took a turn for the worse and Zoe was rushed into theater for an internal medical check, but when she woke up, her vital reproductive organs were missing. Speaking about the ordeal, she claims, "I didn't expect to have any of my body removed that day, but the doctors said they had no choice due to the severity of my condition. I was so upset and angry, even more so at the fact I'd been told there was no chance the endometriosis could be back as I'd had surgery to remove it. But each time I went back for surgery, it had come back worse and worse. I felt broken and I still am now, but I thought I had to just get on with it." Sadly, her battle was far from over. In 2019, she suffered further health complications and had to have part of her bowel removed and a stoma fitted. She said, "Waking up to the bag on my side and seeing the scar, knowing this was now my life, deflated me. It knocked my confidence and I hated looking at my body. It really baffled my head as to how it all worked, but eventually, I got used to the bag being there and it's become a part of me now. But it has affected my life as I'm no longer able to eat fruit or vegetables. I have to be careful of what food I eat, as if I eat the wrong thing it can cause blockages and they are not nice. I've been hospitalized due to this a few times. I've also had to change the way I dress to make sure you can't see my bag through my clothing. As well as this, I also have to take into consideration any trips or days out I'm going on, as I have to see whether there will be toilets and if I'll be able to empty my bag." Now, despite all the treatments and surgeries, Zoe is still suffering from extreme pain every day, which is sometimes so excruciating she has to go to hospital for help. Zoe claims medical professionals have informed her that the only way to relieve her symptoms is to undergo a full hysterectomy, meaning she won't be able to produce eggs. In a bid to freeze her eggs before it's too late, she's set up a GoFundMe and has raised £1,000 of her £5,000 goal. She hopes to raise awareness through her story and encourage other women to push for answers if they know something isn't right. Zoe added, "I don't want anyone to have to go through what I've been through. I had to wait so long for a diagnosis and to be seen. All of this could have been prevented if I was listened to at the beginning, and everyone should be able to have the chance to be a mum. I hadn't even heard of endometriosis before I was diagnosed, but I was relieved that it actually had a name and it wasn't just bad periods. I want to share my story as I want to spread awareness of endometriosis and how severe it can be. It's not just a bad period, it affects everything. Day-to-day life, relationships, my sex life, the list goes on. I think of all the people that have children and give them up or hurt them, and I don't think they understand how lucky they are. People tell me I could adopt, but it's not the same. If going through this and sharing my story means other women won't need to suffer, then it'll all be worth it." A spokesperson from St. Mary's Hospital told Jam Press. "We understand Zoe has contacted pals regarding her concerns. The PALS team are investigating the matter further with St. Mary's as part of their standard complaints process and will feed back to Zoe as soon as the investigation is complete.